And it's good to see you, my friend. I think I just want to get caught up on where you're at with everything. I don't think you've interviewed yet, right? Tell me about life. How you been?
Really busy, man.
That doesn't mean that it's not the right thing to make a move. It just means that make sure you do all your due diligence. There's another guy that I meet with monthly, similar to you, and he's now considering going to United. And I asked him what's motivating your, move, and he didn't really have like a solid answer other than the fact that he just felt like somewhat bored and like he's searching for something. And I'm not saying don't go. What I'm saying to him is that you might find yourself going to that other airline, and when you get there, what you might realize is the same thing, that you're suddenly empty again. So you were feeling fine. You were feeling fine where you're currently flying. Then you got bored. Now you're searching for something, newer and shinier. So you went to the next place. And then the reality of it is that wore off, and now you're searching for something else. And I told him, I think the reason you always feel empty is because everything you're doing is for yourself. And I can hear it in his speech. You're talking about your experiences, where you went, how you have little left to do for you. I don't feel empty, but that's also because I evaluate my life, and I'm like, there's a lot of things that I do that have nothing to do with me. It has to do with my 5-year-old, my 2-year-old, the staff that works here at the academy, the students that are here, the instructors, the tenants that are renting the properties. It has to do with the people that I handle on the fitness side of stuff. Like there's a lot of responsibility, and I think where you lack responsibility to other people, you may feel somewhat empty. Like if you're doing things that are outside of yourself alone, then you'll start to feel a little more purposeful, which is what brought me to instructing, brother. That's ultimately what brought me to instructing, So he kind of sat there and pondered that for a while. Now, I'm not saying that's the case with you. I'm just saying I think it is important to kind of think like, what motivates my decisions to want to do things? And the most difficult person to lead is yourself. It is yourself, because it's amazing. We're quick to let ourselves down, but we don't want to let somebody else down. If you have to be, like you just said, the meetings are holding you accountable, which is great, But imagine if you weren't doing this, you would feel it easier to be like, nah, I don't have to do that. I could spend that. I shouldn't save that. Or you just find it easier to get away with things that are different than, like I have a coach myself when I'm preparing for a show. Could I coach myself to the shows? And yeah, probably, but then you don't have somebody to report to, which makes it a lot better. I think a lot of times what's missing is not that you need another sim. What you need is proper facilitation, guidance, and instruction. Somebody left us a review recently saying, because they did 1 4-hour sim with me, they went to another school. The other school was a bad experience. They ended up coming to here for just 1 sim. And then they were already so deep at the other school they finished. But the point is that literally the Google review they left says 1 sim, with myself was more effective than countless hours in a sim and a device. Now I say that with all humility, but really what I'm trying to get to is the point that a lot of times it's not that you need the reps alone, and it's not that you need to be in a sim for hours and hours on end. It's that your form is bad. So if you do 100 reps with improper form, nothing improves. You may only need 10 reps with proper form, but you're never going to get proper form if somebody doesn't bring you to awareness of the fact that you're doing it incorrectly and that it needs to be, corrected, right? So deliver it in a humanistic way, because the issue is, I think a lot of instructors forget they're humans. And my faith background is very well grounded and reminding of like everybody else that you encounter on planet Earth is just another human trying to figure their way out. They're trying to figure it out, man. Everybody's trying to figure it out, so just be kind, brother. That's all I can say. Everybody's trying to figure it out, man. That's the answer right there. So have empathy. That's the answer. I think that's the main thing. Apart from everything else and having the awareness and all that, I mean, yeah. that last part goes a long way. So, yeah, man. Well, it's good to chat with you as always, brother. Yeah, man. We'll talk soon. I look forward to it. I'll see you again next month. All right, man. Take care. See ya. Bye.